Hi, this is Eva Vlaskova. Day 4 out of 30 days challenge going live. And as the time is progressing, I'm starting to feel more resistance, which in a sense is the defense mechanism of our ego to be in charge, to make sure we're not shifting too much into different energy. So I'm showing up. And yesterday I did mention I would start talking about manifesting. What is it? How it works? And everyone is capable of it. For many of us, it started as writing some notes. Working on our subconscious mind, it's step number 1, I would say. It allows us to be really in charge of the underlying program that we're constantly running on our subconscious mind before actually stating what we're trying to manifest. Whatever we end up manifesting, it's the reflection of the energy behind or underneath our intention for manifesting. So when you're setting your intentions, check with yourself, is it coming from lack? Is it coming from fear? Is it coming from some kind of subconscious belief? Or what you're focusing on, your next step, is it aligned with your true authenticity and true calling? And then the belief of, do you believe it is possible to achieve it? Do you believe yourself deserving of it? And do you even consider it's actually possible to achieve it? So it's all down to your beliefs and your emotional attachment to those beliefs. If you believe the outcome you're trying to manifest, it's your divine right, it is much easier for you to tune with your emotional body, with that outcome, with that sense of already wish fulfilled. In that instant, you can... Is there someone here? Okay. Let's add Boris on the video. Let's see if it works. Hello? It still says adding. Okay, it takes a while. Technology, it's what it is. Boris and I talk quite a lot about manifesting, and
Hello.
here he comes. Hi, Boris.
Hi. Sorry, it's the first time I go live on camera, and yeah, I'm so happy I made it. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
You're very welcome. So I was actually talking about manifesting and how much we both are really focusing on that subject and how we're analyzing it and playing with it. Would you like to bring your point of view to that?
Yeah, I was hearing you as I was clicking on my buttons here, saying how you connect with your emotional body, and somehow you tune into it, and all of that doesn't speak to me. I cannot relate to it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like how do you do that? I mean, I've read books about it, doesn't inform me.
Conceptual.
Theoretical. Like I've even read that book. It's in Spanish, but it's the 7 spiritual laws of success by Deepak Chopra. And one of them is called one is manifesting.
Okay.
One is manifesting. So I read that for years, trying to internalize the thing, and I never got any closer to it.
Okay.
And it's since I've met you, I've really felt like I was tapping into what it means, because I could experience it.
What have changed? How your approach changed today to it, to manifesting?
The moment I could catch myself doing it, like, or realize that I had done it, then then it became possible. And I said, oh, okay, I get it. And now I'm trying to get it work purposefully, not only in hindsight. Oh, I was manifesting. I didn't know that. And so now, because I'm aware I can do it, and I've done it in the past, it's the next challenge for me is to actually make it part of my daily life.
Yeah, and now I remember actually, because I did your soul profile as well, like it's even in your soul's nature being that powerful manifestor of your own experience. So yes, you are here to master it. And it's quite show watching it in action, how it unfolds and how you get it at the first time. Like you hear it once and you jump on it and you get it right. You don't question it. And that's the key, the belief.
It's not, but it's not enough. That's exactly why I say that, why I mention it. I've started reading that 30 years ago.
Okay.
It's not new, okay? I was already looking for
I
the
love that.
answers.
Thank you for
Yeah,
not feeding my ego.
yeah, and it's not only the belief. I had the belief back then.
Okay.
Simply didn't know how to relate to it. It's not like, okay, I was asking probably for the wrong thing, the thing that I could not manifest back then, and therefore it didn't work.
Okay.
And today I realize I've manifested things in the past, good and bad, and they were my doing. So in hindsight, I say, oh, then I can do it.
You're
And
taking
now I believe
ownership of your own creations, good or bad. You're no longer victim, basically, you're saying.
Exactly. I'm an actor, and then the belief you're talking about can kick in, because it's really like, oh, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I did want that somehow.
Yeah.
So that's those are the hints that
many things need to be aligned for the manifesting to go the way you want it to go. And that's what you're cracking here right now, I'd say. Like you're putting all the little puzzle pieces together and you're working with all of them at once, not focusing only on one and leaving the rest of them to, like, let's see what happens. No, you're in charge of all those people.
that's probably unconscious. I'm just speaking on what I can relate to and make sense of it, and then somehow it brews, which is what we're talking about. It does its thing behind, so it becomes part of my understanding and awareness. Well, I just changed topics so I could wear a hat.
Beautiful hat. So cute.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I hear what you have to say about manifesting then.
Okay. Give me a specific question. Because you keep saying it's mystery. Let's unravel that mystery here. Let's see if we can do that.
What is, let's say you need a magic wand and you need to know how it works. You're given a magic wand, and if you don't have the manual, it doesn't work. Yeah, and that's the manifesting magic wand. So what would be rule number one for it to work?
Number one, your awareness of your heartfelt desire that's challenging and exciting at the same time.
Wow, that's quite a program. So it's got to be
needs to come from the right
desired.
place.
Yeah. So desired, excitement, but felt like wanted. Okay.
It's the very thing that moves you from within, and sometimes we may kind of push it on a side because we may consider, our educated mind can consider that it is not practical. or not convenient in specific time or no time for it, while that's the very thing that's got huge potential. So if we start focusing on that, everything else fits into place. Otherwise, if we are manifesting what we believe we should want, because that's how the society works, we end up manifesting lots of nonsense around it as well. Things that
Yeah.
over time we will have to resolve because we don't really want them in our experience.
Yeah, and this is when the mismatch happens, and then it doesn't work, and then the magic wand doesn't work.
It
So
always works, but just where that manifesting intention is coming from, that's the key. It always works. It cannot not work.
okay.
It's a magic wand. It cannot not do what it was designed to do in that sense.
So you're saying we are always manifesting.
Always. We're creating constantly at every moment. Even when we just sit on the chair all day long and do nothing, we're still creating some outcome, some consequences of choosing or not choosing to do something.
Yeah, and sitting with it. I'm not saying meditating, like let's sit in the chair and wait and decide to do nothing. Does that bring you closer to manifesting your desire or further away?
Well, it depends if you're going to take it into the next step through action or not, and then stick to it. Like I'm sticking to these videos despite of feeling this resistance, and it's Sunday,
Yeah.
and I could find many reasons to actually justify my choice not to come live today, for example.
Yeah.
So that's where the resistance starts kicking in to push us back into old known, because right now, if I stick to a new choice, I'm creating completely new pathways that will bring completely different consequences that are beyond my imagination, because it's completely out of anything I've done before. It's away from any kind of programming.
So in order to manifest that is yet to discover, the unknown or the potential, you basically make sure you are in tune with your desire, your emotion, your feeling. You said like heart-centered something, and then the outcome will be close to what.
To exactly the same emotion that comes from your heart. That's that congruence. Because
Okay.
whatever you have that desire in your heart, it's the very thing that's already waiting for you to call it in. So it's like two magnets suddenly one spinning around and calling for each other, and then
I
congruent
got it.
actions make it will solidify. Back to the book.
I've got a call coming in, but that's what's for here, the law
I can't
of
hear
gravity, the law
you.
of attraction.
Can you repeat again, please?
Sorry, phone rang.
Okay.
The law that you are describing there is called the law of attraction.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not called manifesting now. I haven't read it like in 20 years because after 10 years of reading it like all the time, like got bored. So law of attraction, and is what you are saying here, which is making sure that you are in the right space emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you attract to you.
And checking with yourself if what you believe you're feeling emotionally is truly what you're feeling, or you're covering up different emotions behind. It's like a Kinder egg or the Matryoshka, the Russian doll. Like, what underneath that feeling? What underneath that motivation? What is it that I'm not seeing yet? Is there anything else I'm hiding from myself? And constantly that willingness to question everything all the time, to course correct at every moment.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to school again because that sounds like really like full-time job.
Full-time job?
Okay,
Yeah.
it's full-time job. Yeah, great, but I mean, I don't have that kind of
No,
time. So I already got a full-time job.
eventually you do internalize it, and it becomes part of your new programming. Therefore, it becomes unconscious. It's like when you're learning to drive the car for the first time. 10 years
Yeah.
on, you are not thinking about what gear you're putting in or what pedal you're stepping on. Your body does it for you, while
So,
you're actually focusing on keeping the direction. You're focusing on getting from A to B.
let me go back to the pencil, the magic wand. Can you show it? So that's, I would call that rule number 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
And um, is like um, practice, like spotting it, recognizing that it happens, that it has happened, and therefore that it can continue happening, and then being close to that experience, but mentally, emotionally, depending how you gather your information, and and as you say, that becomes part of your life. And I'm feeling that I'm feel much closer to the experience of manifesting today than I used to 1 year ago, which means that practice, practice, practice. That would be the second rule for
It's
me.
like
It's like,
training. It's like training your brain to decoding the reality, decoding what is truly taking place at any given moment, and where are your choices coming from, and what you're trying to achieve with them. What's the outcome you're pursuing? Are they congruent? Are they grounded in your heart?
yeah, this sounds like making it part of your daily life means maybe reflecting on it, maybe free writing, maybe doing some art or talking about it. So finding a way to anchor it, to question it,
I'd
to
say, can I interrupt? I'd say I actually realized the very first step is to really train your brain to select the information you're feeding yourself with, what kind of words you're choosing when you're expressing yourself, and
you're right. Yeah, yeah. That's the
the true
moment.
meaning behind the words.
Yeah, and that becomes important the moment, for me in my life, it became important the moment I realized it had an incidence in the outcome I was getting from life.
So suddenly it's not passive anymore, and that's where I start talking about actually sitting at the driver's seat of your life.
Yeah.
And then eventually getting that map, your personal map for your personal manifesting journey you have chosen for this lifetime, which actually you get through your soul profile as well. And everything's just like that was the missing piece for me, at least, because everything makes sense and it really allows me to just relax into my way of doing things and not focusing so much on how it looks like from outside. Is it
Yeah.
authentic to me? Is it grounded in my heart? Does it reflect the true nature of my being when I am not limited by any kind of programming or subconscious agenda? Is it the true
But you're really,
expression of myself? And all these
yeah.
components together get us much closer to it. It's fascinating.
So you're saying you are constantly looking at yourself in a mirror or checking with yourself that you are on the right path, that you are doing the right thing.
I'd say this is the way I have been wired. This is my way of being, and I understand this is a bit extreme for daily life. But if you have many different responsibilities in your life pulling you in many different directions, so I understand not everyone has to go to the extreme I am going. This is part of my life path, and it allows me to develop that understanding that then I can share with others, and each of you guys take the bit you can handle at this moment, and then you start slowly building. Therefore it does not become full-time job for you. It's adding, playing with one piece at a time, making of it the part of your new programming, and then adding up other pieces and start playing with them and combining them, experiment with them, and eventually it's like driving. Your system just gets to this new program like, oh, this is what we're doing here. This is how it's done. Okay, let's keep exploring, because it's constantly all down to openness, surrender, staying in your heart, staying grounded, and curiosity. and willingness to let go of any outcome, even if it feels like you're sacrificing or losing. Doesn't matter. Feel that fear, allow it, and stay focused on your values that are grounded in your heartfelt desire.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like it can be a full-time job, but it can also be done like with a bit of awareness, a bit of self-practice or self-questioning practice, a bit of mirror, whatever it is that I do and that people can do to integrate it. I like another word for integrating, sitting with it. Yeah, integrating is a good word. And sometimes it needs like days or week to just settle down, like, oh, I've manifested. And then I need to breathe on it, you know. So I will go because I've got something there. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye. How do I
I try to remove you.
Leave broadcast.
You're done. So Boris just mentioned something important towards the end. He said, I have manifested. And this is the key point where you pause for a little bit and stop focusing on constant manifesting. Make yourself familiar in that new space. Make it your new reality. And then keep focusing on reaching toward the future and the next best version of your manifestation, because as you're progressing, you will keep refining, and it feels like you can see every time further and further the next goal. So, yeah, this was beautiful conversation, Boris. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching, and I wonder if someone else would like to come on call with me for tomorrow. Just drop me a message. And the last thing I would like to mention is I am offering coaching sessions that are literally focused on your mindset, working on your mindset in order to create the momentum and eventually the how is it called? I just forgot. Your paradigm shift, right? And from that space, manifesting just becomes very easy. And I support it eventually with one thing at a time, because it can be too much all at once. When you feel ready for the next stage, it may be now, it may be in 2 years. That's okay. Feel that, follow that inner calling. Is I offer the soul profile sessions, which are literally like next level. It's like manifesting on steroids, and that requires as well lots of inner work. That's why we cannot take on board all at once, because already working on your mindset takes a lot, and it brings lots of shedding, lots of pain comes to the surface, then comes the integration. So it's a process, and it is wise to take one step at a time and not rush and be impatient with yourself. And yeah, I would love to work with you if you feel ready, and have a lovely evening. Take care. Bye.